jump in the sky. Closer to butterflies. You can be there just for one day. You can be there. You can be there just for one day. Somewhere up above the stars. Start again higher. It should be better. Start again higher. It should be better. It should be better. It should be better. I am a lion, walking with lambs. You can't be a god if you're only a man. I'm a break in the silence, so you understand. You can't tell me, no, you know that I am a lion. I am a lion, walking with lambs. You can't be a god if you're only a man. I'm a break in the silence, so you understand. You can't tell me, no, you know that I am a lion. Gonna be a winner, gonna play for glory, gonna live forever. My name in lights you see. Gonna be a winner, gonna play for glory, gonna live forever. We're making history. We come and we throw down. We're gonna paint this town. You know we never stop until we reach the top. We come and we throw down. We're gonna paint this town. You know we never stop until we reach the top.
Riding in the Maybach, coming for the payback, screaming out hype in the huddle on the racetrack. Your band should play a lot. Tell me, is that all you got? When I hit the lights, you can hit me with your best shot. Said get your playboy, you ain't no Hefner. Think you lost your way, boy. Now I'm gone, I left ya. Standing in the stadium, here comes the champion, popping champagne, cause you know that I'm
Gonna be a winner, gonna play for glory, gonna live forever. My name in lights you see. Gonna be a winner, gonna play for glory, gonna live forever. We're making history. We come and
to keep. In moments of the cold and rust, I'll be your relief.
Assassin mode is you can only play assassin style champions, and when you play those champions you can only build AD or AP, no health, no armor, no MR, so pure man mode.
So basically, you pick like 5 assassins and you kill each other, and exhaust is super broken, and you have all those fun champions like jumping around and jumping walls like Talon. So it's different from what I have played during the year, but I feel like it's gonna be awesome to play that mode.
This tournament is the first kind of tournament that the pre-patch, pre-season is being played on. And it's also considered somewhat of a fun tournament. So I think Riot really kind of want to showcase what assassins are capable of. This is actually a really kind of good time to showcase what those assassins are kind of, what they can do.
Assassins are like really high mechanical champions, and they don't have a lot of HP, so the fight will be very quick. So I don't know, it will be like a very explosive fight and a very quick game, I think.
And it would just be really funny watching kind of the rest of my team who aren't really familiar with playing assassins trying to play them. So that's going to be hilarious to watch, I think.
Açıkçası bugün scrim attık Assassin modda Brezilya'yla. Hani yeni şampiyonlar denedik. O yüzden hani çok çalışmasak da en azından yarına hazırız diyebilirim, bir fikrimiz var. Yani ben de bir Assassin şampiyonu oynuyorum diyebilirim. Umarım fark yaratır.
Bon dia, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of the International Wildcard Allstars live from Barcelona, Spain. Day 1 was pretty weird, and it's about to get weirder. Today we'll be bringing you 4 back-to-back assassin-only matches, followed by the continuation of our 1v1 tournament as we get closer to finding out who will earn the coveted spot in All-Stars next week. Hello, everyone. I'm Daniel Dracos, joined at the analyst desk by Alfonso Mithy Rodriguez, Indiana Frostgrown Black, and Zach Rusty Pie. Welcome, everyone.
Howdy.
Hey.
Hola.
Howdy, mixing it up with the
different one every day.
Different one every day. I like it. A good start. Well, yesterday we did see Team Fire take a slight edge over Team Ice after those series of 1v1s. So standings pretty close, but as we start to look into them, you can see how the day sort of unfolded.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting day to speak to Japan in particular, getting the 1v1 advantage to put them up. I'd actually say I'm most impressed with Turkey overall, though.
Turkey getting the 1-0. You can see Brazil falling just a little bit short against the CIS. Similar story for Southeast Asia. And on the opposite side, CIS picking up their first win, as well as Latin America South, Oceania, and Latin America North, both off to a little bit of a rough start here.
Yeah, and really the CIS having a better read on the meta than most of the teams. You know, they started out early. They came out with pretty much all tanks in every single position and just brute force with Courage of the Colossus.
I mean, Courage of the Colossus is pretty powerful overall, and we saw as we looked through that game just a lot of pretty insane moments from CIS, especially that Baron steal in the early game, and definitely wasn't clean despite a lot of the opportunities that they had. What really stood out from you guys most in that game?
I think there was a lot of creativity from the CIS team, and I think that, again, is what stood out the most to me, is how they're able to constantly, it doesn't matter which team it is, it doesn't matter how it happens, they're always innovative and they're doing something new and different, which, just like this, works out the best for them.
Poor Edward. Didn't quite make it over the wall, that does use his ult to get in there later. But it wasn't just, of course, the CIS. You see that flank come out in those final set of fights. Similarly, LJL also being very innovative. Nautilus going into the bottom lane to support that terrifying Tahm Kench top coming in from Evie.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the Tahm Kench pick, but it was also Evie as a player. I really want to highlight this guy. He's known as, 500 ranked LP challenger on the Korean server, playing from Japan with 80 ping, and he stepped up huge yesterday, starting those fights with the Tahm Kench and then finishing them with the Tahm Kench by saving that ultimate.
It was so effective and so brutal to watch. Now, Mithy, so many tanks in the top lane. What are your opinions on this kind of rising Courage of the Colossus meta that we saw yesterday?
Well, honestly, even though I feel like it's a bit unbalanced, the mastery and everything, the keystone, sorry, I just love it because it just basically means that there's one less variable in my team of someone that will infeed my game. So that's a positive start. And then the fact that assassins cannot be played into these tanks means that I'm gonna die way less because all the assassins want to do is just kill the support. So I'm grateful for the changes.
I like it. You're very worried about yourself in any meta situation. It's good to see. But zeroing it on today, let's show you what we've got, because all the tanks are gone. Starting off our day, we're going to be going up with the 4 assassin match modes. It's going to be Turkey versus Oceania, Latin America South versus Japan, Southeast Asia versus the CIS, and Latin America North versus Brazil.
And following that one will be the continuation of the 1v1 matches where CIS play against Turkey and Brazil against Latin America South.
I'm most excited for the CIS against Turkey because all these players play in the same server in EU West, and I think they have maybe small grudges against each other from all these games that they play against one another. So it's going to be excited to watch that 1 versus 1, how it plays off.
Potentially know each other a little bit better. But before we get into the 1v1s, it's going to be assassin mode. This is going to be blind pick without any bans, and players are only allowed to select assassin champions as determined by their description in the client.
Yeah, champions to highlight though, it's any type of champion that's going to bring that hard CC, so I'm really looking at Pantheon here in particular, but also the fact that LeBlanc always very strong, and Ahri having that charm as well.
Interesting too, of course, very few champions with range, and a few champions like Pantheon that we were kind of surprised to see classified as assassin. Have to see how they come out. Master Yi as well, but as we know, all the assassins have copped rework, and a lot of big ones coming out. So we borrowed a little bit from the fighting game community and created our very own tier list. Now the one you see here is Rusty's tier list. Rusty, LeBlanc, Kha'Zix, and Rengar in S tier. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I know people might say that's a lot of champions in the S tier, but all of these experiences, and the reason I've made it has been from solo queue, and that one time the Kha'Zix came in and absolutely blasted my bum is the best example of why he's going to stay in S tier permanently.
Any dispute, Mithy?
I mean, I can't argue with someone that got their ass blasted.
All right, well, looks like personal experience weighing heavily into Rusty's tier list, but as well, we were theory crafting earlier today about how the assassin mode, not just assassins competitive, would work out. And Mithy, you kind of put together this all-star dream team composition. Why don't you run us through it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know how good it's going to turn out. I took my time to just basically theory craft a team comp, since I guess every team is going to do the same. And I basically opted for Talon top, since I think it's the best champion to pick top. You can run TP on him. I think TP is still going to be run. I think it should be run. And you basically have the opportunity to 1v1, and you have really good 1v1 duels in the top lane, in the long lane. Then for the jungle, it's most likely going to be Kha'Zix or Rengar. I don't think Shaco or Pantheon are going to be champions we see. For the mid lane, it's going to be LeBlanc for sure. I think everyone kind of agrees. Everyone has LeBlanc on the S tier. We all agree it's the strongest champion, best 1v1 potential, everything. And for bot lane, I was thinking of mixing it up. I don't think AD carries are going to be something that we want to see in this game. I don't think anyone wants to play AD carry against all these assassins. So I was thinking something like Katarina, Pantheon, bot lane, something like kind of like mashes up well together. I think Pantheon with Exhaust on the bot lane as a support is going to be something that I hope we see, because it has the harass potential with the Q, it has the instant stun, and at the same time you can be, even if you don't build tanky items, you can be a bit tanky with your passive. So I think overall Pantheon, also the roams with the ult, I think Pantheon support is going to be something that we should probably see.
All right, looking out for Pantheon support. Now you said Katarina is kind of the non-traditional carry from the bottom side of the map. You said don't expect to see any 80 carries. Is there any chance that any of these characters can build like an Infinity Edge, the standard things that we see from the 80 carry?
Yeah, definitely. The one champion you might see it on is Ahri as the AD carry position. However, remember that if you're picking an AD carry and to build it like an AD carry, an assassin 5v5 is actually asking to have all 5 of the opposition just wanting to kill you constantly. So it's a pretty big risk.
Yeah, again, it's just prioritizing having burst damage versus the sustain output over the course of a fight. That said, a lot of these compositions will fall down in terms of siege potential. So when we come into these big 5v5, you're pretty much just determining that everyone has to die. It has to be an ace, otherwise no towers are going to fall. And that's my favorite game mode.
Also keep in mind that everyone will want to just fight each other from the get-go. So having an AD carry and trying to wait it out and get 2-3 items is going to be a hard task.
Well, we'll see exactly how the builds unfold, but of course there are more tier lists than just Rusty's, and you can find those at eu.lolesports.com for all of the IWCA panels, Assassin tier lists, as well as the explanations as why they ranked what they did. But speaking of itemization, guys, I want to jump into the itemization available for this game mode because as we saw in the feature, it is limited exclusively to items that have either AD or AP components in their final build. So keep in mind, you can build things like tier, like Sheen, but that Sheen has to turn into a Lich Bane or a Trinity Force. It cannot be something exclusively with tank stats like an Iceborne Gauntlet.
I mean, that said, you can grab tank elements as long as they don't complete the build. So you could technically get kind of a variety bucket to make a false tank, if you will, or a budget tank.
And well, I sincerely hope we don't see more tanky builds. I hope people are more eager to kill each other. What items do you think are going to be really strong in this game mode with those restrictions in mind?
Mithya, I know you have a couple of things that you'll be able to add to this, but mostly tank items that aren't actually tank items are still where everybody should actually be going.
Yeah, definitely. And also, yeah, and to point it out, things like Abyssal, I think is going to be very strong. Hourglass, or just the new item that was released, the Knight's Vow. I really don't know what the name is. It's like a mixture
crown.
between the crown.
The activatable Banshee's Veil.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
so
God.
I think those 3 items are going to be the most bought ones for sure.
Interesting to see how those pseudo-aggressive items with defensive options may be prioritized, but of course, additionally, there are some extra items that are available. Health potions, refillable potions, Hunter's Potion, Corrupting Potions, Sorcerer's Shoes, the Warrior, Runic Echoes, and Bloodrazor and Jungle Enchantments as well. So we've talked about the items, the champions we expect to see, but now it's time to toss it over to the casters because Turkey and Oceania are about to go head-to-head.
Thank you, Sifa. I'm Matthew Fisher, and joining me is Andy Vediastane. We just parkoured back over here for the caster desk for the first 5v5 Assassin mode match. It's going to be Oceania taking on Turkey in the first game of today.
And I am extremely excited. I have so much hype in rehearsals today. I was yelling because of all the cool assassins. These are the best champions in the game, Fish, and we finally get to see them going at it once and for all.
We certainly are, but before we get into it, let's have a look at who's taking to the Rift. Starting on the blue side of Summoner's Rift, representing Team 5 from Turkey's TCL is going to be up in the top lane. Elwyn from Dark Passage. Heading into the jungle will be Crystal from Team Aura, as well as in the mid lane will be Naru from Supermassive, Zetnot, the AD carry from Dark Passage, as well as his support, Double Doge from Supermassive.
Meanwhile, in the red corner is the Oceanic Warriors representing Team Ice. In the top lane is Swiper from the Chiefs. Jungler is Carbon from Legacy. Their mid laner Swiffer from the Chiefs. AD carry, the legend Radiant from the Direwolves, and their support Rosie from Tainted Minds.
And I know starting off with this Chiefs lineup, Vedias, I know you have something you really want to talk about their AD carry in particular.
Yes, Radiant. Now, Rusty was telling me how he got to sit down with the Oceanic players yesterday, and they were all like, yo, what's with the Vayne pick? Why did you guys pick Vayne? And the team said, 4 of us said we did not want Vayne. Raydir said he wanted to play Vayne. So they ended up playing Vayne. And Raydir, using his powers of coercion, ended up turning the team in his favor, and he managed to lock in his Vayne.
Well, he's technically a lawyer now, Vedia, so when a lawyer says that his 1 is greater than 4, you better listen to him, because the judge is always going to be on his side. Another player that we really have to look out for is Naru, because on day 1, he played really well.
Yeah, he certainly did. He was playing Assassin mode on that Orianna yesterday. He had a fantastic performance, and, I mean, a lot of people underestimated this Turkish line. I know I certainly wasn't expecting them to come in so strong, but yesterday they performed out of this world. Naru in particular just had such great support with the rest of his team, and he used that gold so effectively. And he did that yesterday on Orianna. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do on an assassin today.
Exactly that. If you can assassinate people as Orianna, heck, any assassin would be great for coming as assassin. Maybe we'll get, you know, your Katarina pick.
Oh, the dream, my friend, the dream. I hope we get at least one Katarina. I've literally got a novel prepared for my beautiful champion.
I can just walk away.
Yeah, you can leave at that point. That'd be great. But no, I obviously need you here, Fish. I couldn't do this without you. And how else could we hype up all these fantastic assassin champions? Because we've had so many different changes come out. You know, we've got changes to Zed, we've got changes to Rengar, we've got changes to Cat. LeBlanc will be the big one. You did hear them talking about it on the desk as well. But it's largely going to be a question of who plays what, because we have seen Carbon throughout the regular season bring out a fair amount of Rengar. We have seen Swiffer bring out the LeBlanc in the past. Naru was well known back in the day for his assassin playstyle, and you did hear them in the pre-game little show thing that Swiffer was certainly looking forward to seeing how well the rest of his team can do on these assassin champions.
Which was really surprising, because Swiffer, you know, normally plays those mages in the mid lane instead of the assassins, a couple of times picking up the LeBlanc, and Carbon's the one that has played quite a bit of Rengar. Where the side of Turkey, we saw a couple of the players that didn't necessarily play assassins say they really wanted to showcase how they could play assassins, just to kind of show the world that they can pick up these champions.
Yeah, I did hear Dumbledore say yesterday, I have at least one assassin. I'm good, guys. I'm good. I've got this. And to be honest, like, you can still play Pantheon. Like, you don't need much skill to play Pantheon. I've got to be honest, right? He has a lot of point and click abilities. He's pretty fail-safe. High skill cap. Katarina's definitely up there. LeBlanc, I would definitely say, requires a bit of thought behind it, since there's a little bit more intricacy to it now, with delays in not only her passive, but how her W works as well. And also the way in which you use your ultimate as well. So there's a bit of intricacy in some of the champions, but then you could also just play Rengar and just press all your buttons, and I'm sure that'll work, you know, just...
Well, we saw that work during the 1v1s yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Audi brought it out yesterday, and he was able to take down Evie, which was very enjoyable to watch, but... I'm really excited to see this. Just to remind people, this is blind pick. There are no bans. You don't get to get rid of anything. And I'm pretty sure these teams have a good idea of what they're going to lock in pretty early.
And speaking of blind pick, we're heading into Champion Select for the first match of the Assassin Mode games that we'll have here today. Turkey taking on Oceania. Like you mentioned, blind picks. We're just going to have to see what they decide to lock in.
Looks like a couple things have been locked in, but my eyes are on Dumbledore right now. Come on, do it for me, my friend. I know you're tempted. I know you want to lock it in, and already so many champions locked in. We have a Shaco in the jungle. Mithy, he didn't expect it to come out, but Carbon, he's saying, yo, I've got this. Swiper bringing out the Pantheon in the top lane. We've got a Diana in the mid. So far, we've got no mirror matchups. Perhaps we have a LeBlanc on the support as well. Ahri, maybe the AD carry Ahri. You know, we were debating whether or not it would work out, but there's certainly a lot of AP. I mean, a fair amount of mix on the side of Team Ice from the Oceanic squad. I mean, I feel like they've came in with a plan with this one.
And you know, picking up the LeBlanc for Rosie almost feels quite fitting here, because when he was playing as a support in the OPL, he was picking up Static Shiv, Rapid Fire Cannon, Bard. This guy is a monster. Giving him LeBlanc kind of makes sense.
It's been locked in, Fish. It's been locked in. I get my Katarina game. I've been asking for this for so long. Dumbledore, you are my hero. I knew Team Fire wouldn't let me down. Oh, this is going to be exciting. I want to wait until everything is locked in so then we can try and talk about these kind of comps. But what we can say for sure is LeBlanc, very strong. Looks like it's going to be going in that support role. I actually used to have a teammate who was a LeBlanc support main, and he used to make it work all the time. You go for very early chains, and with the changes to chains, she's actually very effective down in the bottom lane. But in terms of overall team comps, what all of them want to do is buy a lot of items that kill stuff, and then they're going to want to go and kill their opponents, right?
I kind of feel like that's the general idea here.
That's assassin team comps, ladies and gentlemen.
Buy a lot of items and kill as many people as possible. So we have to see which team is going to get the upper hand. We talked to Carbon earlier, said it's an exciting mode, lots of kills. It goes on for about 30-40 minutes. It's just going to be tons and tons of action. But we still want you guys to vote for your favorite team to win this match. Head over to @LOLesports and use the hashtag TURWin or the hashtag OCEWin to vote for your favorite team heading into the first match of today.
Ladies and gentlemen, assassin mode. This is going to be so much fun. I know for a fact that the players are excited. It should be a bloodbath. No slow laning phase, only hardcore action. And that is what I'm most excited for.
As Frostgrim was mentioning us earlier, you know, it is completely man mode. You can't really tank up. You can buy the bits and pieces, but no Warmogs, no Randuins, Omids, no Guardian Angel to keep yourself alive. You buy damage, you go in, and you just hope you get out alive.
That is certainly the case. So, we have a lot of assassins on the board. Fish, I'm going to leave the decision down to you. Are there any assassins that you want to cover first? Do you have any favorites that you want to look at?
So, you know, I look at this and I go, there's so many different things I'd like to cover here, but I just see the Katarina.
Yes,
and
you do.
How much
I
you
know.
want to talk about this, Vedius.
All right, so for the time being, right, so Katarina, her changes, let's run through her changes for a start, right? So she's no longer the point-and-click assassin like she used to be. She's not so much just dive in and just press all your buttons anymore. She has quite a lot of intricacies with her blades. So now you actually use the blades to reset your Shunpo cooldown. She still has her old passive of if she gets any kills or assists, her cooldowns are reduced by 15 seconds, but typically what you're going to want to do is max the Q. It's your main wave clearing tool, it's your main harass tool. It only hits onto 3 minions, but it will leave a dagger. If you walk into that dagger, it resets the cooldown of your Shunpo, or it reduces it by a certain percentage of that cooldown. The more points you put in it, the higher the percentage reduction is, and it just means that the later the game goes, the stronger the Katarina gets, and the more reset potential that she has. But what I'm really interested to see is how well Dumbledore can manage his daggers, because that is what the difference between bad Katarinas and good ones.
And just sticking on Katarina for a bit, you can already see Dumbledore going for the Dark Seal as his first item, whereas Rosie is going for the support item instead, looking to just try and take passive gold, probably give most of it over towards Radiant, who is in fact going for the 80 carry Ahri.
Yeah, it does look like that. So Team Ice actually opting for a traditional bot lane, quote-unquote. So I think that'll be quite an interesting one. Already you can see that Team Fire have gotten the early push. So right now, Team Ice will be a little bit on the back foot, struggling to try and deal with that wave clear. But how the gold is distributed in the bottom lane will actually mean a lot for the Katarina, because both Ahri and Katarina are very item reliant. They have fairly poor base stats, but very good scaling. Katarina's a little bit better with the changes now to the passive on her spinning blades. But other than that, they're still both pretty item reliant. And you can see now that the lane is actually pushing towards them. The fact that Radiant has AD actually gives them a big advantage in terms of the 2v2.
We move into the mid lane now. Swiffer up against Naru. Fizz taking on the Diana here. Naru doing a really good job so far trading against the fish. But Carbon is in this lane looking to see if he can try and get a gank off here, but was spotted out by the Kha'Zix. Jump over the wall, but Naru spots him out, able to pull him backwards. Here comes Kha'Zix to jump over the wall, gets on top of Carbon for first blood as well. Swiffer's been flashed on, he has to flash away, and Team Fire get first blood.
Carbon going for the solo Q plays, a charm lands in the bot lane.
Bottom lane, Dumbledore's gonna get locked up. There's the Ignite, Radius putting down the auto attacks, flashes forward, but hits the turret, doesn't get the final auto attack. Exhaust goes out onto a Zetna, charms him back, Radius dead as Dumbledore dashes it as well. Ignite put on towards Rosie, not quite enough for Dumbledore to catch up to Rosie.
Oh, action already. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we promised you, and this is what you're going to get. So unfortunate for Radiant. He goes to the flash auto, and he hits the tower. Oh, that couldn't have gone any worse for him, but Dumbledore is able to get away just barely with his life. Zayt not then able to turn it around. Just such clutch stuff. Let's start with the middle lane. Carbon going for the solo Q Shaco build. He has decided to run with the exhaust. He used it as a means to try and force Naru back. He didn't realize that he was spotted out by Crystal already for the turnaround gank. Meanwhile, this is the damage that you get from LeBlanc nowadays. The charm lands, there's the chain. You see the passive being propped, bang! Gets popped by the chain itself, and it just does so much damage, and then Radiant, right at the last second, fails and ends up hitting the turret, which is really what ends up losing them this trade. So very unfortunate for Team Ice right there.
Rosie as well using the W really quickly. They're trying to get the instant damage. Alrighty. Oh, he knows he's messed up there.
Yeah, he knew. But Rosie now coming for a roam mid.
Yeah, looking to try and get the gank off towards Naru, getting a few auto attacks down. There goes the chain. Swiffer's trying to jump on top of him, but just a little bit too tanky, the Diana in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the most conventional lane that we have on the Rift right now. Fizz versus Diana. Early levels tends to go towards Fizz's favor, and remember now that Fizz has had a couple changes himself. Not some massive ones. The one you really need to pay attention to is his ultimate. The further it travels, the more damage and the more CC it actually does. As Dumbledore's going a little bit aggressive, committing quite hard.
Yeah, quite a bit of damage down on towards Radiant. Dodges out the charm. Rosie is waiting in the wings, but he's only level 2 on this LeBlanc. Dumbledore has already hit level 4.
Well, that's thanks to the early kill that he was able to get. Rosie going to be struggling a little bit in farm, and you can actually see that the the farm is being evenly split between the two bottom laners. Is Crystal making his way up to the top?
Hello.
I mean, I don't know why I'm surprised. I don't know why I am surprised. It is the best Keystone Mastery to run in Assassin mode. But yes, let's talk about this top lane because we haven't yet. Pantheon, point and click, the ultimate skill champion. Ooh, flash charm.
Flash forward, Rosie does get charmed up, but does distort away to get back to safety. Carbon waiting in the wings, trying to get the gank off, but Double Doge and Zetnot have already disengaged.
So, fun fact about Katarina and Shaco, her ultimate only goes off when you're within range of a target. So if Shaco is nearby, you can tell because your ultimate can actually be procced. Not that that's a useful feature, but hey, Shaco's nearby, you know? But yes, moving back to the top lane. Zed versus Pantheon. Typically, this should go in the favor of the Pantheon early because you usually go for a bit of sustain with the Corrupting Potion. You just throw spears all day and it's difficult to trade back, but I don't know if he can get out of this one.
They're looking for a dive. Swiper will be able to stun up Eldwin. He's going to live with a sliver of health.
Oh.
Swiper living with less than 10 health here. Crystal should be able to path him down and hunt him down. He does have teleport, but let's see if he's going to be able to use that one to escape. He might just be looking for the execute instead.
I think he might very well be able to get this, and he does. Well played, Swiper, to get out of that situation. I felt like he may have gone for the TP play. He didn't want to risk it. He's going to keep that summoner spell. A bit of experience will go over to Crystal, but other than that, nothing too much loss. So well played by Swiper to get out of that, especially being a level down.
He was laughing quite a bit there as well once he got executed. Knew he was able to, outplay them a little bit. Stop the dive coming out from Eldwin. Both flashes burnt by the top laners, but Swiper will use his teleport to get back to the top lane as well.
Certainly will. So now that we are 7 minutes into the game, 2 kills on the board, let's run through some of the itemization that you do have the champions going for. Now, Swiper, we actually have a bit of a replay. Oh, actually, this is great because we can actually see what Swiper was able to do and a bit of a misplay from Elwin. So he actually starts off by going with the ultimate. And notice his basic attack is actually going to hit into the block. That means that Swiper's going to avoid a lot of the damage. And he just flashes out of range of the shuriken to avoid that last tick. And because Crystal had already used his leap to get in range to try and finish off Swiper, he's able to get away. And bear in mind, Crystal had already used his flash earlier on, so then Swiper could just get away with the execute.
Does give Crystal level 6. Will rank himself up. Seems like he wants to return up into the top lane for Swiper. Goes invisible, jumps on top of him, gets a good amount of damage now, goes invisible again, but it's not going to be enough. Takes quite a bit of damage from the tower shot and the Thunderlord's proc from Swiper.
Now, I'm surprised Swiper decided to go for the serrated Dirk early. Having chatted with Rusty, he actually told me how if you just stack longswords, it's actually much more efficient than actually upgrading to the serrated Dirk due to the changes to lethality. But he's decided to get that as we see Dumbledore going in.
Rosie taking a lot of damage. Dumbledore has been exhausted. Radio gets charmed up, looking for a kill to Zetnot. Ignite is ticking. He gets it, but it going back in. Dumbledore gets the reset. He's under the turret, but he just can't quite do it. It's a double kill for Radiant.
Oh, Dumbledore, you could have easily got on the double kill, but you just weren't fast enough with the Shumpo. And Radiant is able to get himself the outplay. Oceania get themselves the desperately needed 2 kills. That bottom lane finally starting to work in their favor. But my word, that was one tense exchange. They're even a disadvantage. I mean, Zayn not only being level 5, but look at this gank in the mid.
Carbon's in the mid lane. There goes the fish onto Oz. Naru will knock him up. Let's see if they go for the dive. Swiffer and Carbon seem like they want it, but the turret aggro goes onto the wrong 2 people and doesn't get the clone.
So another failed gank in the mid lane from Carbon. Decided not to use the exhaust this time, but we'll put a bit of pressure down onto Naru. If Swiffer had used his ultimate a little bit sooner, it would have provided a little bit more crowd control and a little bit of extra damage. But he decided to get just up close and personal, so you didn't quite get the maximum usage out of that ult. Meanwhile, we see both supports roaming around the map, and now we're going to see that vision plant coming in as actually potentially a gank coming in from the Pantheon.
Pantheon looking for the Grand Skyfall on top of Naru. He will get out of the circle, but Crystal jumps in. Comes the first to fall. Double Doja spinning around for the double kill. He gets the triple kill, and he's still hunting down Rosie as well. What a play from Double Doja.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The triple kill from the legendary Katarina. That's what we wanted to see. Fantastic use of the reset. Great positioning as Rosie's got caught out.
Zetnot's found him. He's going to dash over the wall, trying to chase down the LeBlanc. Will be able to get one more auto attack. Zetnot gets the kill. Radius now trying to chase it down, but Double Doge, he's flashed over. He wants to help his friends. They're going for the turret time. One more attack, it's all it takes. He gets the reset as well and gets back to safety.
Thank God to Dumbledore. He comes in as support for Zetnot, who is in a bit of a tricky situation right there. A little bit ironic that the AP Ahri is the one running heal and the AD Ahri is the one with Ignite. Nevertheless, 2 kills further go over to the Turkish team. And already just so much more bloodshed. 5-1-0 Katarina right now. Whew. I mean, where does the replay start? It has to be from the gank in the mid lane. So you can see Naru is the target. They want to try and punish him. He has no flash. And they're somewhat expecting this gank, so the rest of 5 come in for the collapse. Crystal goes in a little bit early, but Dumbledore can just come in with a perfect flank to get all of the resets. You can just see all of his daggers everywhere. Enables him to get the resets, and I mean, you really don't need that many skills early on because you actually have great scaling with the with AD. So as long as you get an early longsword, it works out. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Rosie gets caught out of position, only being level 5. Zaynot's able to pick that kill up, and then Dumbledore's coming in as we see more action.
Meanwhile, Crystal's been able to take down Swiper. Carbon was close by, but not able to help out at all there.
No, I mean, a little bit too quick for the OPL team to respond. And now Carbon is left up alone. Now Dumbledore's looking for another roam in the mid lane. But unfortunately, Katarina, one of the main reasons we're unlikely to see her in competitive play is due to her severe lack of utility, which does hinder her ability to roam around and gank in the mid lane. But nevertheless, a lot of pressure being exerted by the Turkish squad right now.
Look at the level disadvantage between the 2 junglers here. Crystal, level 9 on this Kha'Zix. Carbon, still level 6 on his AP Shaco. As Dumbledore will get charmed up here by Radiant. Takes a little bit of damage, but is able to shampoo to safety.
I mean, you talk about the level disadvantage, but look at it as well in the top lanes. We see another gank in the mid.
Red Skyfall coming into mid lane. Naru's been hit by the fish, gets knocked up. Swiper gets the stun down as well. Looking for even more damage. He will dodge away from the playful trickster. Crystal comes here. He's on top of Swiffer, goes invisible, gets the last slash, and now Swiper's the target for Team Fire.
Oh.
The OPL team here are not doing well at all, Vidius.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, it looks like Zaynot.
He's been charmed up. Radiant's jumping in, but there goes Dumbledore trying to get as much damage out as possible. Radiant picks up the first kill. Dumbledore is chasing him down. Should be able to get him with the final auto attack.
I mean, that's one way to kill your opponent, Dumbledore, but really, we have to focus on the outplay from Naru. He baited both members towards Crystal, who was just lying in wait, ready to strike. And then Naru with the quick footwork, and now Dumbledore.
Gonna have to be a little bit careful, but that is so much damage being thrown on towards Rosie with just 1 dagger.
I know, right? It's crazy. I mean, already working towards that Hextech Gunblade.
He's got 10 stacks of his Dark Steel video.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's why you should go for it early on, because Katarina was just a killing machine, and if she gets an early lead, she snowballs out of control. Now Dumbledore knows this is going on.
But Rosie knows as well. He gets the shutdown, removes 4 stacks of the Dark Seal as well, as Rosie gets the outplay onto Dumbledore.
Oh, unfortunately for Dumbledore, she wasn't able to shunpo away from the distortion. Nevertheless, let's backtrack what happened in mid lane. So Naru once again being the target focus. A lot of attention being focused onto the main assassin player. And not much success really coming out of it. Not really enough damage from Swiper, only being level 7. They couldn't really close it out, and then Crystal comes in and look at the damage. Just absolutely crazy stuff. Had already completed his first jungle item, was already stacking up that AD. Zaynot getting caught out of position just a little bit, ends up eating a charm and losing his life. But in exchange for that, Radiant has to trade it as well. Ahri versus Ahri. Dashes versus dashes. AD clearly the one on top, you know, superior. Proof right here, right now.
Eventually we saw Rosie get that crucial shutdown onto Dumbledore, but he has his Hextech Gunblade now, Vidius.
Yeah. It's actually a very efficient item on Cat as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Dumbledore work towards a Rylai's Crystal Scepter next. It gives you a little bit of extra tankiness, but on top of that, it gives you that bit of CC that you're lacking as a Katarina. The thing you have to bear in mind is that it's actually quite potent because it slows down your target. If you it deals a fair amount of magic damage, the active on the Hextech Gunblade, but it slows them down, enables you to get in range to then start dropping your combo. Now, we have to look at Naru, who's looking for a roam down in the bottom lane. There is vision, but he's going to run straight into Carbon.
Carbon, though, is going to get deleted from Summoner's Rift as Naru gets a drive-by onto the Oceanic Jungler. Now chasing down Radio and Rosie. He's going to get popped here, left with less than 100 health. Zaynot charges on forward and picks up the second kill for Team Fire.
Losing that tier 1 in the mid lane hurt OPL so much. They lost so much control over the bottom half of their jungle. This enabled Naru to roam around for the flank. I don't even think Khan was looking on his screen, and to be honest, he didn't get a chance to because he was gone before you could say, what? So much damage coming out from Naru, so effective. and they get themselves 2 kills off the back of it.
And just taking stock at where things are at now here, Vidius. 8,000 gold lead for the TCL team, but there is a teleport to the bottom lane. Swiffer's looking for a flank. Carbon's on top of Crystal. He goes for the turret dive, gets a kill to Radiant, but Satan's being locked down by Swiper. Crystal will fall. Double Doge should be snared up here. He'll get taken down for a double kill for Swiper.
So it looks like the Turkish squad overcommitted just a little bit. They tried to force a fight that they were not in a great position to do so. They didn't spend the gold that they had just picked up after that successful setup in the bottom lane, and they end up getting punished for it. So nice response from OPL. Still proving that they have some fight left in the tank. But the thing that's really hampering them right now is this severe level disadvantage. Picking up a couple of those shutdowns will certainly help them, but they have a long way to go before they can close this massive assassin gap.
So we're taking a look at the items earlier. Everything looks fairly standard. For now, though, let's go into replay of that dive, Vidius.
So you can see here, Fire, they feel pretty confident. They know they have the damage to kill Raider, and they successfully do so, but they have to commit so much to get him. They leave Zayton on the backline, tanking the turret. Swiper's able to clean that up, and then in a 3 versus 2, as well as the Illuminati Shaco boxes, that's the crutch that prevents Turkey from being able to pick that turret, pick up a couple extra kills, and end up giving away a small advantage to OPL.
Like we were mentioning there, all the items look fairly standard for a couple of these assassins, especially, we see Zed, Kha'Zix all picking up standard items. Even Diana, kind of standard, going for a little bit tanky in that mid lane. Ari, very standard, same as the Katarina, but we've got a hybrid Ari on the side of the OPL team here, Vidius. He's going for the Hextech Gunblade with Berserker Greaves.
Going for that super sustained Ari build. I mean, I guess it works. And
then we have Carbon on the AP Shaco,
yeah, you've got me there. Good one. You've got me. Can't explain that one, but look at Carbon. He's going to try gank in the mid.
Let's see if he can. Double Doge to be snared up. Rosie jumps over the wall, but Zaytnos charging it to the back line. Rosie will take down Double Doge. Radiant loses with a sliver of health, but here comes Crystal. Leaps in, trying to get the kills. Tries to take down Carbon first. Rosie will fall, and Carbon will fall second here. Team Fire clean up the Oceanic team.
Dumbledore gives away his life, but the action's not over yet.
So it looks like he wants to go and get the flash playful Trickster to take down Crystal, but Naru's here. He's going to be able to chase down the Fizz, misses the Crescent Strike, but will pull him back with his W. Swiffer is trying to stay alive as long as possible. Trident strikes his way away, trying to go toe-to-toe against Naru now, and he does get back to safety.
So Swiffer with the star points, he gets a kill, he gets himself out, and he actually makes that overall trade a 2 for 2. So not bad for the Oceanic squad. They definitely committed a little bit harder than I think they wanted to, but it ended up working out as Elwin now.
He's trying to dive on towards Swiper. Swiper knows that Turkish top laners are a nightmare to deal with, but here comes Carbon, throws out the Shiv and picks up a kill for his top laner.
Surprise! It's Shaco, and he is here to redeem his top laner. Swiper, after having a very tough early laning phase, is able to turn it around, but let's backtrack. Dumbledore ends up eating the charm. He ends up losing his life. The chain CC is too strong from the LeBlanc. Meanwhile, Crystal comes in from the flank, being that Kha'Zix. Really good flash hit from Zaytnot because they lose vision on him, and then he's able to buy time for his cooldowns, get the charm down onto Rosie, and they're able to get the 2 for 2. But then Swiffer shows the max range damage of this Shark, combined with the empowered W that the Fizz now has, and he's able to just walk out of here. Good sidestep from that Q is what really kept him alive. Naru running out of mana. But it looks like we may very well see more action as Crystal is moving towards this red buff.
Carbon has to be very careful. Crystal will find and puts down the exhaust. Gets a lot of damage down towards the Kha'Zix. Jumps up forward. The chains are not going to connect. But can he get it? Yes, he does. The damage over time is enough. Oh, Radiant! Oh my goodness!
He shoots. He scores. Naru gets another one. He is just on cleanup duty. Satan's now been caught out.
He's been exhausted though. Carbon's going to try and chase him now. Rosie looking for the chains. Gets it. Flashes forward and gets a kill onto that 80 carry, so to speak. It's Naru now in a 2-on-1. Swiper's Naru. He's looking for the upgrade. He gets one. He's going for Swiffer.
Oh my God.
One more attack's enough. Naru can do it. No, he can't. As Swiffer gets the playful Trickster to get the kill.
Oh, Naru, you almost did it. You beast of a man. That was so close from the Diana. Wasn't quite able to pull it out. Swiffer keeping his team's hopes alive. But my God, action all over the map. We just don't get a breather, do we, Fish?
No, we don't. This is amazing, Vidius. I mean, we were talking to Carbon early. He said it's an action-packed game, and it certainly has been. And Dumbledore's been jumped off by Carbon here. Gets a lot of damage down, but he can't get the reset. He can't pick up the kill. Ice will take down another member of Team Fire.
That was so close for Dumbledore to get that kill. What he didn't realize was the box was actually put down behind him, and that fear is actually what interrupted his ultimate. But now, looking back to Naru, good flash over the wall, ends up eating the small fish, so doesn't take a huge amount of damage from it, buys enough time, then dodges over to Swiper to avoid the playful Trickster, and then he's just buying time with the shield. So well played, and it's just so unfortunate if he was able, if he just cooldowns. It was just cooldowns and he would have been able to get the 2 versus 1. But nevertheless, 1-for-1 trade in a 2 versus 1, I think you can be happy with that.
It's getting a little bit closer here as Crystal is going to be charmed up by Radier. Just wants to get himself back to safety. Carbon will throw out his ultimate. Doesn't deal too much damage there, but Crystal will be able to escape. And looks like we have another hybrid character on the Rift here. It's going to be Shako. He's not just full AP. He's going for an X.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I can appreciate that. I can respect that. He has pretty good AP scalings on some of the changes that happened to him recently, like on his Deceive and on his Dagger as well, or on the Jacket box anyway. But something that we actually discussed earlier on was an Assassin's ability to take Baron. It looks like that when you run a Diana and a Kha'Zix, that rule doesn't apply to them.
Pretty much. It's going to be a 21-minute Baron here. It's really hard to siege as Assassins, so Baron's the next best bet.
Oh yeah, it certainly is. So 21 minutes. Early on, Turkey definitely had full control during the laning phase. A couple of overcommitments perhaps resulted in OPL getting a couple favorable trades. They get some items under their belt. They started scaling relatively well. But now with Baron on the side of the Turkish squad, it looks like that they have regained control. But now what are they going to do with it? They've taken a lot of the tier 2 turrets already. Note that Elwin has pretty much spent the entire game split pushing up on the top lane. Something that he is well known for in his defense is Carbon now in the mid.
He's going in at some max range. Fish coming out to Naru. Carbon's incredibly low. Swipe's trying to jump in, but Dumbledore has got 1 kill already. That is going to fall. The resets come out for Katarina for the double. He's on top of Swiffer. Going to pick up his daggers. Playful Trickster comes out. It's the triple kill for Dumbledore, putting Team Fire in the lead again.
I feel like the longer Dumbledore plays Katarina, the better understanding he has of the daggers, but the action's not done yet.
Elwin's going in. Rosie tries to dash away. Does dash away pretty well there. Avoids all the damage from that death bar. Now looking for Dumbledore. Gets the shutdown. Rosie, that was amazing.
I was just praising you, Dumbledore, and then you had to go and do that. Fair play to Rosie landing the chains, but I don't think it's going to be enough as Crystal.
He's going to go in. Tries to jump on top of Rosie. Flashes forward. Gets him through the exhaust. Elwin has to be a little bit careful because Carbon's dashing up forward as well. Radier is trying to get as much damage down as possible.
TP.
Teleport coming to the back lines from Naru. Swiper's coming. No, Swiffer's coming in as well, Seeves. Let's see what they're going to do here. Naru, he's going to jump on top of Swiper. He's gone. Crystal picks up that kill. Team Ice are falling 1 by 1 here as Fire still pushed towards the inhibitor.
That looks like they're going to get it too. 3 members are alive for the OPL squad. That fish is actually absolutely massive.
It sure
but it's
is.
not going to do enough damage to deter the Turkish team as they walk away with the inhibitor, feeling pretty confident after that successful team fight.
23-16 on the scoreboard here. 49,000 to 38,000 gold. Let's take a look at that one again, Vedius.
So Carbon tries to go in, be the initiator, but then Naru just turns it around like, you do not initiate on me, I initiate on you. He does go down relatively early, but not before he's able to get so much damage down. Dumbledore is just using Naru as a front line to then just clean up the rest of the fight. He gets himself the triple kill. He does give his life away a little bit later on, but besides that point, really good outplay from Rosie to avoid all the damages. Now, the action does continue.
Carbon has been taken down, but Swiffer's jumping on top of Naru. Here comes Radier dashing in. Swiper's popped the Grand Skyfall. Swiffer with the Death Mask going to be enough to take him down. Swiper's in amongst it, taking a lot of damage. As Crystal will go on a killing spree to take down Pantheon.
3 for 1 in favor of the Turkish team once more. Naru has to give away his life, but every time he does, he just does so much damage in return. And while all this has been going on, split push Katarina has been working her way up in the top lane. Remember, she actually has a fair amount of AD as well, thanks to the gunblade that she picks up. But now, can you get the outplay? You just used all your abilities, and Carbon's hungry for blood.
He's gone in, throws down the Hextech gunblade, but Dumbledore goes back in. Let's see what he can do. He's been locked down, pops the Zonya's hourglass. Carbon is going to try and run away. Dumbledore knows what's the right one, but still, 3-on-1 is a little bit too much for Dumbledore.
Dumbledore's using his ultimate just too early, too often. He's getting feared up by Carbon, which is interrupting a lot of his damage. If he'd just been a little bit more patient, he perhaps could have come out with a kill there, but nevertheless, Team Ice are going to buy themselves a little bit more time, but they end up losing 2 turrets. They lose 1 Nexus turret. They've lost their tier 2 in the bottom lane, and slowly but surely they are losing their base.
certainly are. 26-18. Finally, one Nexus turret has fallen. 2 inhibitor turrets have fallen. And a single inhibitor has been taken out in the mid lane. As Crystal, you know, just somewhere off the map, gets a kill onto Radiant.
Killing 80 carries, as Kazik does, you know? But I gotta be honest, I feel like the big reason as to why Oceania's falling down is look at this build from Swiper. This is not a man build, Fish. This is not how an assassin will play. Where is my Bloodthirster? Where is my Last Whisper? These are the sort of things I want to see on Pantheon. And Naru, he wants to see a bit more action, but for the time being, he's going to have to disengage.
Swiper, the tank player from Oceania, you know, sticking to his guns, trying to build as tanky as possible.
You have to be assassin mode. Look at these builds coming out from the side of Team Fire. They've got, all right, he's got a more of Malmortius. Okay, never mind. Crystal's been removed from this too. But look at the Katarina. Look at all the damage. That's what we want. Look at the Ari.
He's got a Zhonya's Alcon.
We should ban defensive items, period. Just get rid of them all.
As long as it has armor or MR, get it out of here.
You're only allowed to build BF swords and needlessly large rods. That is all you're allowed.
Well, now we're going to see Team Fire try to siege up the top lane. Turkish team already got a lot of damage on towards that turret. Carbon pops his ultimate. Senses coming in first. Big Fish coming up. Swiffer lands on the 2. Swiper's in amongst it. Radiant's kiting around. Double Dodge gets a nice channel off, but a double kill coming out for Swiffer. Here comes Elwin. He's been exhausted, but already gets a single kill. Team Isto, they're taking out Team Fire 1 by 1. Crystal gets a kill. Looking for the reset. Swiffer's going down as well. Double kill for Elwin. It's only 2 members up for Team Fire, but only 1 left for Team Ice.
Things look so promising for the OPL squad, but they just could not deal with Elwin coming in from the flank. Swiper, he still had his flash, Swiffer still had his flash, and they just could not react in time with those death timers. Team Fire could look to try and end the game right now.
Only Rosie left up. 8 seconds on Shaco. Carbon gonna try and come up and save the game. Elwin and Crystal chasing on forward. Crystal will dash away from the chains. Evolves in the middle of the Oceanic base, as you do. That turret will fall, it seems. The minions will be able to take the one down. It's an open nexus here for TCL to take down.
But Turkey, they realize that they don't want the action to end just yet. They still feel that they need to give the Oceanic team a bit of a fight, you know? So they're going to keep them alive for the time being. But let's have a look at this fight. So the actual initiation comes out from the Pantheon once again. The Shark is absolutely fantastic because it lands onto Naru. Naru then flashes into 2 of his members saying, guys, help me. Gets the knock up onto Crystal. Dumbledore does get a full channel off, but he's just standing there. He doesn't use any of the resets, ends up collapsing, but we have to backtrack because there's more action now.
Swiper's in trouble. There's going to be a teleport coming out from Swiffer trying to save him. The Shark comes out onto Elwin, doesn't connect, doesn't knock anyone up, and Crystal loses a silver of health. Carbon now trying to save his mid laner. Radiant's coming up here. Zonya's being popped. Double Burst going in. So it's a not. There's the ultimate. Gonna land onto Carbon. Flash forward into Zonya's coming up for Double Dodge. Meanwhile, Zaynok gets taken down. Radiant
Come on, Double Dodge.
gets the double kill. Double Dodge is trying to get the heck out of Dodge. Rosie's chasing him down. Will we get the auto attacks up? And a teleport from Naru up into the top lane. Rosie's going to throw down the chains, try and snare him up, but a good stop from Naru. Cancels out the chains as Rosie's trying to run away from super minions in towards the Turkish base.
But have a look at Crystal. He's going to cut off Rosie's escape, or is he? The plants are still there. He misses him.
He misses him. Rosie, a little bit of a 007 mission here as he tries to jump away from the rest of the Turkish team. Hide with the wolves, Rosie. Hide with the wolves.
Oh my word, he's actually going to do it. Naru has no idea. He's given up on the chase. Rosie, has he done it? No, Naru's suspicious.
Oh, he's going to try and jump back. Rosie can't quite hide with his wolves anymore. Now going in towards the Turkish base. There is a Zed coming up. Rosie, can he get executed?
Oh!
He will! Elwin tries his best, but it's not close enough.
Rosie, the true magician, but all he's actually done is buy time for Team Fire to respawn and move towards the Baron. But this time, Team Ice are not going to give it for free.
Swiper's coming in. Naru's going to jump on top of it. Mike goes down,
Crystal's
but there
gone.
goes Crystal. Carbon's been ulted by the Zed. Death Bar comes out. That will pop the Shaco. Radius trying to kite back as the AD carry is. He'll get popped by Naru. And it's still going to be a huge victory there for Team Fire.
Oh my word, just bloodshed over and over again. 2 for 2. You're now starting to see this hyper-aggressive build from Crystal. He's just super squishy. Everyone has so much damage. Everyone is so squishy. You just need 1 CC to kill a single target. Oh my... I need to breathe, the fish. I need to breathe.
Well, Rosie's going to be back up here. Does have the home guards to get out and try and defend this base. The Nexus is open. Super minions are crashing on towards the base of Oceania. 3 members of Turkey are looking to try and end the game here, but there are still 3 members of Oceania left up. Super Minions now getting some damage on towards the Nexus, but Turkish does back out and waits for the rest of the team to come back up.
Yeah, they realize that even though their team's respawn timers are the same as their opponents, they're obviously in the enemy base, so they're going to be in a 5 versus 3 much before the rest of their allies are able to catch up. So they're just going to back away for now. Maybe try and gain vision control. Do you do that in Assassin mode? I'm not entirely sure. But nevertheless, they're just going to retreat for the time being. So death cap now completed for Naru. If he wasn't doing damage before, he's certainly going to do a lot of damage now. Baron has now been kicked off, and Naru's just being really the zoning player to deter OPL from getting it, and I think this will be another free Baron for Turk.
No one from Oceania was close enough to contest for that Baron. Shaka was all the way back in his base with a little bit of vision control in his trap setup, but...
Also, 2 inhibitors down in your own base does make it a little bit difficult to back away.
It's a Turkish team with 2 Mountain Dragons and a Baron buff here, Vedius.
Here comes
Looks like Oceania are going to try and go in for the initiation. Swiper's coming, a big fish comes out from Swift, but Rosie over the top, looking for him. But Double Dose gets a nice channel off. Karma gets the first kill. Crystal will go down. Oceania trying to defend. Swiffer's gone though. It's now a 3-on-2. Let's see if they can pull up the kills here. But look at this. Turkish team are just moving towards the base.
They might very well try to end it right now. They've realized they've lost the fight, but they don't have to lose the game. Elwind, he's moving towards the Nexus. They could do it right now.
They're going for the backdoor. Elwind gets the shutdown towards Rosie. They're getting the damage down towards the Nexus. Can Turkey do it? The stun comes up from Swiper. Elwind's trying his best. Naru gets into the mountain. He flashes forward. Naru gets the double kill and ends the game. Turkey pick up the win.
Naru ending in style points. He lost the majority of his health on the enemy spawn point. And then he goes for the flash, he uses the passive to end the game just before Elwin dies. Fantastic stuff. 31 minutes of just pure bloodshed.
A fantastic game and a fantastic ending as well. You can see lots of the Oceanic team, so smiles on their face. And the Turkish team must be very happy with their performance there.
Oh my word, I mean, even if you lost, how can you not be happy? Like, that was so much fun. I mean, I'm already losing my voice. Katarina, second highest damage. Naru, I mean, I think it was pretty obvious that game that Naru was just dismantling everyone. I feel like a lot of the analysts, us included, did not appreciate how strong Diana would be in this game mode.
I mean, we took a look at Naru yesterday. We already mentioned it before the match. His Oriana was pretty much an assassin. He played it like one. You give him Diana, he's just going to replicate that times 10, and he did. He was deleting people left, right, and center on Summoner's Rift.
And think about how much pressure was being put on him in the mid lane as well. It was just gank after gank after gank, and he was just consistently outplaying. He was just always finding opportunities to make his way back into the game, and his performance throughout was just absolutely fantastic. What a standout player. And I mean, you can't just speak about it like... you have to talk about Dumbledore. She had 2 triple kills that game. Yes, he died 10 times, but he got 10 kills. Any Katarina that went 10-10-5, KDA-wise, that's positive, mate. That's well played. That's a good Katarina game.
He definitely impressed on his Katarina in that match there, Vedia. Dumbledore is picking up the very early kills, got 10 stacks of his Dark Seal eventually. Sold that. I'm a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, where was the Magi? Oh, probably because he died 10 times. That's why.
But still, Turkey, you know, they were in firm control of that match from the start to finish. But Oceania, they had a couple of team fights that really surprised Turkey, it seemed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, towards the mid and late game, it was just turning into a skirmish fest where Turkey felt like they were so far ahead. They were just constantly going for fights. Oceania were responding very well with their use of teleports, the Pantheon Global, Carbon coming out from mysterious places all the time. It was just Oceania responding very well later on into the game.
But it was still Turkey that picked up the win here. For now, on that win, Hingers is going to be standing by with Team Fire's Naru.
Thank you, Dory. I'm now here with Naru. I'm super excited. Congratulations. What was the most surprising thing about that game?
Do I need microphone?
Oh, I was going to translate.
No, he will, but he doesn't need the question. Şako tarafından çok heyecanlandık ama hiçbir şey yapamadı, zayıf kaldı. Assassin modu takımca çok seviyoruz zaten. Eğlenceli bir maç oldu, güzeldi.
We were excited about Shaco, but he couldn't manage to do anything, so it wasn't a problem for us. But actually, as a team, we liked the assassin mode, so it was fun for us.
Excellent stuff. Now, you guys didn't pick LeBlanc in that draft. Everyone was saying it's going to be a massive pick. Talk us through your draft. Why didn't you guys pick LeBlanc?
LeBlanc eskisine göre biraz daha yavaş Assassin Leo rakibini. O yüzden ben çok sevmiyorum. Benim oynamamı istiyordu takımdakiler de zaten ama Diana'yı zaten bugün gördüm. Bugün almak istedim. Dün olduğunu bilmiyordum antrenman yaparken. Diana'yı LeBlanc'tan daha çok tercih ederim.
Actually, I believe LeBlanc is a little bit slower than it's used to, so it's slower to assassinate enemies with LeBlanc now. Actually, team wanted me to play LeBlanc, but I saw Diana on the list. I didn't knew Diana on the list yesterday when we were practicing, but today when I saw it, I just wanted to pick it, and it worked well.
Oh, fantastic. And finally, I want to ask as well, this is part of a narrative now where Turkey are constantly breaking the hearts of Oceania. How does it feel now to just be dominating year after year?
Avustralya'ya karşı hep başarılı olduk. Bilmiyorum ya, herhalde Türkiye Avrupa'ya yakın olduğu için daha sıkı takımlarla çalışma sayesinde olmuştur bu.
I mean, we were always successful against Oceania, but I mean, I believe that's mostly because we are close to Europe and have more practice chances with better teams, probably because of that.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Best luck in the next matches. And now it's time to throw it over to Sifa at the analyst desk to break down the game.
What is your name?
All right. Thank you very much, Hangers. You'll learn how to pronounce it one day. All right. Okay, so first off, didn't pick LeBlanc, confident in that pick. I want to talk about Champion Select because we expected pretty much the Mythy team every time. We didn't see Talon. We saw Shaco in the jungle. What do you think happened here?
Shaco is a thing that they had been practicing in their scrims, of course. Oceania, I was told they only played like 3 or so games before they actually